It is an unusual day in LA with rain falling over the Dignity Health Sports Park. The Los Angeles Wildcats are a win away from clinching a playoff spot. This is their chance to knock Dallas out of the playoff race. This is the second matchup of these division opponents. The last time they met, Johnson led his squad to a 16-5 victory over Silvers and company. Despite Austin Proehl's 157 yards, Seattle couldn't find the end zone in their last meeting. Silvers told me pregame that he will be looking to find Proehl early and often. The Spruce is loose was coined in that Week 6 matchup. His 9 receptions for 134 yards and a score was enough to earn him Player of the Game honors. Johnson will surely target Spruce and McBride, looking to put up points quickly. Can Los Angeles seal their fate with a victory, or will Seattle be the third team to upset the favorites this week? Seattle Dragons, Los Angeles Wildcats. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. This is surely going to be a fantastic game. LA will receive the ball to begin this game. That means Seattle will get the ball at the half. That was a short kick. I believe the kicker fell on his butt. I was making a note. I didn't see. I looked up, and all of a sudden, the ball is at the 30-yard line. That is a great start for LA. If you are an LA fan, you're probably falling on the floor laughing if that's what actually happened. They get to start at their own 42-yard line with just 2 seconds ticked off of the clock. If you are new to the broadcast, thank you for coming. My name is Bravo33. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. LA is at 5-3, and they are looking to get a playoff spot clinched this week instead of having to fight for a spot next week. Dallas upset Houston in that fantastic Thursday night game. I think I've been talking about that game since it happened on Thursday and every other game this week. They have kept themselves in playoff contention. They are sitting at 4-5. All of that could be for naught if LA wins today and picks up their 6th victory of the season. They will clinch at least a playoff spot with a chance to tie at 7-3 with Houston if Houston is not able to win next week. If LA loses and Seattle picks up the win, Seattle will be 2-7. LA will be 5-4, giving Dallas a shot to pick up a tied breaker with 5-5 wins if they beat LA next Thursday night. So it all comes down to this game for LA. If LA picks up this win, playoffs are clinched in the West. The Week 10 matchups will be meaningless because we'll have our playoffs set, but it will be a good warm-up game for these teams. Johnson in the gun. He is looking towards the middle of the field on 3rd and 15. He will only complete 3 yards. That is a short drive. What started off as a good field position for LA, we are now looking at a 3-and-out about a minute later, and Seattle lucked out here. Seattle had a tough break on that kickoff. They almost were in a tough spot, but they played good enough defense, got a 3-and-out, and now they're getting the ball with just less than a minute and some change ticked off the clock. So here they go. Out comes Silvers, and as I mentioned, Ricky Proehl's kid, Austin Proehl, had 157 yards receiving that last time they met in Week 6, which was one of our initial broadcasts of the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network.
Tight triple, strong G-toss. Look alive, baby. Break.
1st and 10.
And now, you got to believe, since that game, he has been playing exceptionally well. Proehl is the receiver at the top of your screen. They are in a single back set. McAfee is the man in the backfield. He takes a toss to the left, and he is stopped 3 yards behind the line. 2nd and 13 for Seattle. That LA defense has always been a fantastic D this entire year. They have done some amazing things.
Big play. Let's do it again. Oh yeah, I hope they come at us the same way.
They were the first team to knock off Houston out of the undefeated ranks. So, led by that linebacker, Brett Ramirez, the inside linebacker, he plays great. Kajana Kane is another good defensive man for. Oh, there's a big hit. Oh man. I think Silvers was the guy to pick it up after the ball was call the fumble. It could be an incomplete pass. I wouldn't even waste the challenge because you got the ball pretty much back where you were. That was a bang-bang play if you guys just saw that. If you didn't get a chance to watch that on the replay, Silvers threw it. It was caught. They ruled it a fumble. Silvers picked it up and got obliterated when he picked that ball up. Swing pass to McAfee on the left side. He tries to spin away. It is a 3-and-out for Seattle. So both teams starting off this game rough, both having 3-and-outs. This is a quick game so far. It is going to be kicked back to LA. Ahmad Dixon, you just saw a shot of him there. He is the deep man for LA. And you've got to believe that LA is going to want to capitalize on this defense that they've just played there. They should have decent field position again. Ahmad picks it up at about the 30, jukes a man right out of his shoes. I mean, that guy was left touching earth and nothing else. Good run there by Dixon, and LA has good field position again at the 33-yard line. Let's see if Johnson and company can make it happen. Now, like I said, it's pretty unusual. It rarely rains in Los Angeles, but rain was in the forecast. And as you see here, it is coming down good enough. Empty set for LA. LA likes to air it out. They are an air it out squad. They've got Spruce and McBride at their disposal. I can't even see the numbers on that man. It's tough because they're wearing black jerseys, and our cameras, our broadcast cameras, are getting a little haze. That was caught. Let's see if I can get a number. I believe it was either Randall Parks or maybe it was the tight end there. I think it was the tight end, Jonathan Williams. Yep, Jonathan Williams on the quick slant there. Picks up a first down, so we have 1st and 10. It's the first down for either of these squads. So far, so good for Josh Johnson on this drive. They are at their own 43-yard line with 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Seattle's in their base. It looks like they're in a nickel set. There's the snap. The late handoff to Ryan Meyer, who gets bottled up 4 yards behind the line. None of that is happening here. Good stop by Tony Green, the defensive tackle. Oh, he's untouched on that one. I just see, all I saw was the LA lineman just run right past him and go downfield as if he was doing his job on that play. I mean, that was a boneheaded play by the guard there. Shotgun set, trips formation at the top of your screen. Spruce is the man at the bottom of your screen. Josh is looking. He goes to the out route on his right side towards the sideline. He tries to spin off of the defender. He gets caught up. Trey McBride gets his first reception of the game. Great run there. Great route running. I mean, he spun that defensive back all around. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is Sean Goss who got turned around crazy there. And we have a 3rd and 7. It's a 3rd and long. But when you have McBride and Spruce at your disposal, it's kind of a manageable 3rd down. These guys love to air it out, and they're in a passing situation here. Trips formation. Spruce at the bottom of your screen. Johnson moves up, swings it out to Meyer. Meyer falls forward but does not get the first down. It'll be 4th and 1 at the Seattle 48. And you've got to believe that LA is going to punt here again.
4th and 1. Ball at the 48-yard line.
You know we're running the ball. Left. I'm taking down.
They're looking to do what looks like the bluff play. I mean, you rarely see LA lined up in this set. They're not going to snap the ball. And like I said, guys, I'm hip to their game now. I'm super hip to the game. These guys love, this league loves calling those bluff plays, trying to get a guy to jump off sides. I haven't seen it work yet at all. I mean, to me it's very Pop Warner-ish to try and do that kind of bluff play where you're trying to get the guy to jump off sides. It hasn't worked at all in all the attempts that I've seen so far since we've taken over broadcast duties, but these teams keep trying it. So it didn't work there. They're going to punt it away. Let's see if Bowman can pin this team real deep, either coffin corner or his gunners get down there in time. There's the punt. It is a high one. It doesn't go far enough. I think the wind took that back. But he is stopped immediately, and that is just as good. If you get a punt inside the 20, Sean Goss was able to go nowhere on that return. They're at their 14-yard line. This means now Seattle's going to have to go 86 yards in order to even get to pay dirt. They might have to settle for 3 if they even get that close. But Brandon Silvers is coming out with Austin Prohl. Austin Prohl has been a top-notch receiver all season. They are in a tight formation here. It looks like that LA is preparing for the run. They've got about 9 in the box. There's a snap. It is a handoff to McAfee, and they were right on that call. 2 men meet McAfee before he can even pass the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11 for Seattle. Now that was a good stop by Seattle. Neither team has been able to get the run started. They're now in a pro set. There is the snap. Silvers is going to roll to his left. He has a man open downfield. That is complete for a first down. That was a great play. Great execution. I think that's Frederick Holloway. Yes. I have to almost wait until they show me a different angle because that broadcast angle that I have right now is very tough to see the numbers from my point of view. It's very hazy out here. The rain is coming down well enough in LA. I thought it would just be like a rogue cloud. I mean, you have some clear up, but this looks like this rain is here to stay. We have 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. So far, it's been a very competitive game. Both defenses have come and showed out. They said, you know what? We're not going to let you guys just run amok. You're not going to sit there and run the ball. Offset I formation for Seattle. They have 3 wide, so no tight ends in this formation. Silvers is under center. There is the snap. He takes a quick drop back, throws it across the middle. It is picked off right around the logo. That's got to be Ahmad Dixon, the free safety there. That was a tough throw. I mean, he was trying to fit it into tight coverage there. It was pretty much triple coverage. And Ahmad just stood there and said, I'll take the ball. Thanks, buddy. So now LA has the ball at the Seattle 42-yard line. They have not been able to get a score yet. This will be their 3rd drive. Their 3rd drive, and this is the 3rd time they've got great field position. So they're kind of running out of reasons as to why they're not able to pick up points here. They're in an I formation. They've got Spruce and McBride as their wideout. So this is a very traditional I form. I call it that 90s I form set. There is the snap. He goes and finds McBride along the sideline. Toe drag swag. He is tackled out of bounds at the 39-yard line. 2nd and 7 for LA with just under 4 minutes to go.
Why did you make that throw? Just a terrible pass on my part. That's all me.
Now, I think the punter there was talking to, I think Todd Boston was talking to, I'm sorry, that might have been Brock, was talking to Silvers. But Kevin Epstein was pointing out something that was just odd there. I'm not too sure what was going on there, but Silvers was the man he had to be talking to behind him. Anyway, single back set. We've got Spruce and McBride on the same side of the ball at the bottom of your screen. Johnson moves to his right, finds his tight end, I believe, and he gets bodied up, but he picks up a decent gain. 3rd and 3. Williams is targeted for the 2nd time this game. Now, could it be because of the weather? These guys are not used to this rain coming down in LA, that they're being a little more conservative. They're looking for Williams more this game. Williams is not usually a target that is targeted that often. He is always an option. He's a tight end, but they're usually trying to go down the field and down the field big. There is a snap. He swings it out to the left side. Spruce's first reception of the game. Spruce gets smacked right in the mouth, but picks up the first down, holds onto the football, and Josh Johnson is very efficient. 7 for 8, 44 yards. Like I said, LA loves to sling this pill. They love to throw the football, and that's exactly what they're doing. They don't care about the rain. It's just that they're very conservative with their throws. Usually around this time, there'd be a huge toss down the field. We have not seen that yet out of LA. Again, this is also their 3rd drive, but they haven't had a score. So you've got to believe that they're just trying to play it safe to try and pick up 3. Trip formation, Spruce and McBride are at the bottom of your screen alongside Randall Parks. You probably have Brian Taylor at the top of your screen there. There is the snap. He takes a deep drop back. That usually spells big gain. It is caught by Spruce over the middle. That was a huge, huge gain there. Now the LA Wildcats are down to the 3-yard line, and now the Wildcats are playing Wildcat football. If you see Josh Johnson take that deep of a drop back, you've got to believe he's looking for time to go downfield, and that is exactly what he did. Nelson Spruce, big catch, great gain there. Unfortunate turn of events for Seattle. They are on their heels. trying to not allow LA to score. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. There is a handoff to Meyer. It is a counter. He cannot get to the line of scrimmage. Stopped right behind it. Loss of 1 yard. They are down at their Seattle 4-yard line. Hey, they've got plenty of options here. If it's me, I'm throwing a jump ball to the corner of the end zone to Spruce. I'm going to see if they can win a jump ball game.
Protect our end zone.
Nobody crosses that goal line.
Clinton kid is saying, "Hey man, don't let these guys in. We can give up 3. If we give up 3, that's a victory." I mean, if they can do that, you got to chalk it up to them there. Minute and a half to go. I-form set. This is a run formation. There's a snap, but they're still looking to pass. We've got a flag on the play. Meyer is to the outside, and he's in for a score, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see exactly what the call is. Oh. Tough break. Tough break for LA. They finally were able to punch it in, and they get called for a holding penalty, so that will be a replay of the down. But the big important part of that is that they lose 10 yards on that. So with the minute to go, they're now
here, fellas. Hands up.
They are now at the 14-yard line. Tough break. There is the snap. Johnson is rolling to his right, and he gets sacked before he can get rid of the ball. So now instead of being at the Seattle 3, they are outside of the red zone at the 21-yard line. It is now 3rd and goal. If they can just salvage this drive now and get 3, that'll be big for them to get 3 on this drive, because now it was looking like they were going to punch it in for a score, but that holding call pretty much killed this drive for LA. So here they go. Shotgun set. They're still going to try and get some points here. They've got to go to the end zone. It's the only way they can do it. They can't get a first down. They've got to score. Trips formation. Spruce is the bottom man at the bottom of your screen. There is a snap. He rolls away from a defender, buys some time, shimming his way to the left. He throws it to a man, but he wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking at it. That's tough. That's a tough break, because Johnson bought enough time. His guys were breaking out of their routes, and he found a guy that was open, but he decided not to even turn around and look for it. So now we're looking at 4th and goal. They're going to have to kick this field goal. Hopefully they don't lose their footing on this one like the initial kickoff, and that will be a 38-yard field goal. The kick is up. The kick is good. LA is up 3-0. It's tough. That's a win. That is definitely a win for Seattle, because Seattle was on their heels. They were pretty much in their own end zone, trying to stop them from scoring. LA did score, but it was a holding call. It was a boneheaded play by the lineman that pushed them back 10 yards. Then they capitalized, got a sack, and they only give up 3. So for them, that's definitely a win. So with 12 seconds left to go in the first, LA is going to kick it off to Seattle. Brian Taylor is the deep man to receive. He is going to receive it at his own 2-yard line and bring it up past the 20 to the 24-yard line. Good return there. Decent field position for Brandon Silvers. Let's see what they can do here. They've got to get Gus McAfee started. They might just run this ball here to end off the quarter, or they might try to go big. Who knows? They've got plenty of options at their disposal. Austin Proehl is the man at the top of your screen there. What a great shot by our broadcast team. I talk a lot of smack to the truck because they kill me on replay sometimes. But you know what? These guys do a hell of a job, especially in the pouring rain out here. Toss to the outside. That was to the inside receiver. That seemed like it was Frederick Holloway. That will end the first quarter. LA leads it 3-0 over the Seattle Dragons. And we have ourselves a decent football game so far. If you are just joining us, my name is Bravo33. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. If you're wondering what you are watching, due to the coronavirus pandemic, the XFL had to cancel their season at week 5. We here at the Last Life Gaming Network have decided we're not going to let that happen. So we have taken the All-Pro Football 2K8 game on the Xbox 360 and put in the XFL teams. And we have been playing every single XFL game since week 6. The playoffs are starting to take shape. If LA wins this, they will face Houston in the first round, the semifinal matchup. Spin move by McAfee. Great run there. They will be facing Houston in the first round. Houston has already clinched. DC has clinched. If LA wins here, LA will clinch, and we will have our first playoff matchup set for the playoffs in about 2 weeks. Next week will determine if New York or St. Louis will make it to the playoffs. New York will be playing, I believe, Tampa Bay, and St. Louis will be playing DC. If New York loses and St. Louis wins, we'll have a tiebreaker, and they'll have to go through a bunch. I explained it well in St. Louis's game. If you'd like to hear all of that, you can go into the archives, check out that St. Louis versus Tampa Bay game. It was a crazy game. Tampa Bay was the second team to upset the favorites this week, with Dallas doing it on Thursday night and Tampa Bay doing it earlier today. It was a crazy finish. There is a handoff back to McAfee. McAfee cannot pick up the first down. He is bowed up by what I believe Owen Grant there. That was a huge stop by the corner. He's never afraid to come up and make a hit. So now Seattle is going to punt this ball. They were able to move it a little bit, but not enough, and they're punting this ball away again. This is going to give LA a chance to pick up another score and stretch their lead out. We have just over 8 minutes to go in the second. We're steadily approaching this halftime mark, and Ahmad Dixon will take it at the 20, find some space. It's a decent game. Listen, 7 yards in the XFL, as you guys already know. You guys have been watching from the beginning. 7 yards on a punt return is good. Out comes Josh Johnson. Plenty of time. Got tons of weapons at his disposal. Ryan Meyer has to get started, though. I mean, if Ryan Meyer's not asked a lot of him, he's not asked to do much. He's the deep man in this formation here. It looks like a run formation, but Spruce is the man at the top of the screen that is running routes, and they are going to pass it here. Johnson rolls to his left, sees a lot of pressure, and says, I'm bailing out on this one. Throws the ball out of bounds. Smart play by Johnson. Sometimes you just need to throw the ball away and live to fight another down instead of trying to play hero ball and throwing the ball deep downfield, which is usually going to turn into an interception. Smart play by Johnson and company. We have a 2nd and 10. It's a 5-wide set. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter in the pouring rain because this is LA's mantra. This is their MO. This is their modus operandi. This is what they do. They pass the ball, and they're going to take it to their advantage. Johnson in the gun, finds a man on the sideline. Looks like it's McBride. A little bit of toe drag swag. 5-yard gain. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Spruce. I mean, the 11 and the 15s looked very familiar there. I couldn't really tell. Like I said, very hazy. Great catch by Spruce. 5-yard gain. Now they have a 3rd and manageable down. 3rd and 5 at their own 33. Can they pick up the first down here? He is under center. He being Johnson. There is the snap. Of course, he's looking for another pass. Throws it over the middle. Is intercepted by the linebacker. Wow, what a play. Great defensive stop. That has to be the inside linebacker, Steven Johnson. And it is great wherewithal to find the ball in the air and snatch it out of the sky. Let's watch it. He turns over. He saw that it was going to be an inside slant. Great stop there. Meyer on the tackle. Steven Johnson is showing why he is one of the top defenders in this league. So now, Seattle is in LA territory. I think this is the first time all game they've been in there. It's the second quarter, so this is a prime spot for Seattle to get a score here. There's a better chance than it has been any time of the game so far. This is it. McAfee takes the toss to the right side, and he's got tons of space. He is untouched till he reaches the 15-yard line. Fantastic run by McAfee. He's got 22 yards rushing. That was a 21-yard gain. I mean, great blocking by the Seattle Dragons. The fact that the linebacker and Ramirez were on the other side of the ball, Briggs and Ramirez. Briggs was the outside linebacker on the other side of the field. He had to come up and make the play. That means there was great execution by the Dragons. I think you got to go back to McAfee. Let's reward him, give him the ball again. That's exactly what they do. I formation, he gets skinny, tries to hurdle a man and gets spine busted for his troubles. He's a little slow to get up, but no, he's fine. He's celebrating with his lineman. 9-yard gain. Now McAfee is starting to roll. This is going to help Brandon Silvers out immensely. If McAfee can continue to run his way he's ran these last two downs, it's going to prove to be big. Pro form set for Seattle. This is like 1980s formation here. You're kicking it old school. Twin receivers at the top of your screen. There is the snap. He swings it out to the... Oh, that's a great play. Swings it out on the out route to, I believe, Austin Pro. He makes the catch and walks into the end zone. This is a difference from the last time they played. Pro had buku yards, 157 yards, but he didn't get a score. Seattle wasn't able to score, and with that touchdown, they already have more points than they had in the last game total. All they did was kick a field goal and pick up a safety. They had 5 points. They lost 16-5. Now they already have more points with just that touchdown pass there. It is a 6-3 ball game with Kevin Epstein having a chance to make it a 7-3 ball game with an extra point here. There is the snap. Good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good.
The extra point is good.
7-3 game in favor of Seattle. I think
Feels mighty good to be in front, don't it, boys?
Great shot of Johnson there with the field pass. You can hear them talking that out. Johnson got the pick, and Silvers and company capitalized by playing some extravagant offense, executing the ball well, and now they have a 7-3 lead. Hey, listen, crazier things have happened. Could this be the beginning of a blowout? We saw what happened with Tampa Bay earlier today. We saw what happened Thursday with Dallas upsetting Houston. This is, I'm going to call this week upset week if Seattle can get the upset and defeat the LA Wildcats. If they defeat the Wildcats, next week is going to be crazy. We'll have a few games that will be pretty much win and you're in, or win and play the tiebreaker. So as a XFL fan, I would love to see Seattle win here to cause some parity in the league. But if you're an LA fan, you're just going to be like, hey, let's win this ball game and let's clinch. There is a snap. Johnson's rolling to the left. We have a flag on the play. Johnson hits as he's thrown. He finds his man. It looks like it was to Spruce. He only picks up a couple. Oh, that was to the fullback, Darsh. That was to the fullback, Darsh. What's the penalty?
Number 93, defense.
Offsides on the Seattle Dragons. That was on Mike Gardner, the defensive end. He jumped offsides on the play. So that was only a free play. I'm sure they declined. They accepted it. So they'll have 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. So they could just scrap that down. That was great defense by Seattle, but they just had one guy mess up there. It looks like they're ready for the run. Offset I, but it is a close formation. No wide receivers in this set. They're still looking to pass this ball. Swing it out to Joe Darsh. He tries to spin away. Nowhere to go. None of that is happening here. Good stop by the Seattle Dragons. 2nd and 5. You kind of call that a free play. That is a formation you don't normally see out of LA. And again, it's funny because it looks like it's a run formation, but they're still passing the ball. And again, they're in that similar formation, offset I. Everybody's in close. Sometimes some people call it a Joker's formation. It's usually a goal line set you see it at. Seattle is ready for the run, but they are not running the ball. The pressure is coming. Johnson is looking right over the middle, tackled at the paw of the logo. That is a good catch by the backup tight end, Brian Johnston. It is a 1st down, 1st and 10. So LA, like I said, LA is very conservative. This game, let me say that this game, as we're approaching the halfway mark in the 2nd quarter, we are 5 minutes away from halftime. LA is known to air it out, and I mean throw the ball deep, but I think they are playing it safe because of the weather. Hand off to Meyer, he picks up about a yard, they mark him for 2, 2nd and 8 at their own 45. And I'm telling you, you can tell that LA is being cautious with their play. They don't want to cause any unwanted turnovers. I think all turnovers are unwanted, but I digress. They don't want to turn the ball over on a stupid play down the field, so they're taking their sweet time. I mean, Meyer is getting the ball often. He's not being able to go anywhere, though. Seattle is playing great defense. They're stopping the run altogether. It might be to the point where LA is going to have to abandon the run and just stick to their guns and air this ball out. I mean, their center tried to pull there, but before he can even pull, Seattle was in the backfield stopping him. I think good stop by Bickerstaff, and I think that was Rivera on that side as well.
Problems.
3rd and 10. Ball at the 43-yard.
So we have a 3rd and long. Can Johnson, now see, there they go in their traditional sets that they're in. Usually they sit in the gun. Chips formation, top of your screen. They've got 5 wide on this set. This is forcing Seattle to spread the ball, spread the field evenly. Pump fake, throws down the field. Great toss, great snag. Man, when LA wants to air it out, they are doing a hell of a job. I believe that was Randall Parks. This is a team that has 386s, so bear with me. Good job. He throws it with just enough time. Accurate throw right across the middle of the field. Parks with the grab over the middle. Good snag there. We have a shot of Spruce. Spruce should be getting more targets so far, but the way that LA has been conservative, you can understand why he hasn't been looked at much. Draw handoff. Meyer jukes, picks up a few yards there. 2nd and 6 for LA. They are approaching the Seattle red zone. They are playing good football. Oh, that was Chambers. That was the backup there. I'm sorry. That was Chambers. That was the backup on that one. Decent run there. So now they're in a shotgun set. Running backs flank to each side of them. There's the snap. It is another handoff. Is that to Chambers again? He tries to fight forward. Bickerstaff is all over the place. That was the Meyer. Meyer was checked back in. Bickerstaff has been balling today. I'm telling you, the Seattle defense, you can see their record. Everybody sees it. They're 1-7. Things have not gone their way this year. Let's just face it. That does not mean that they are a terrible football team. Seattle has played fantastic defense all year. I mean, LA put up 34 points against Houston, and they were only able to put up 16 a few weeks ago against this team. Another toss over the middle, this time to Spruce. He spins like a top to get away from one, then met by 2 tacklers down at the 11-yard line, and this looks like LA is going to punch this one in. But, I mean, this offensive line is doing well for Josh Johnson. He has had all the time in the world to make these good throws. We are getting closer to 2-minute warning, and he's played efficiently today. I haven't seen him throw that many incomplete passes. Maybe 1 or 2. I don't have the stats here in front of me, but he's been playing well. All right, this is a single back set. We call it an ace. Ace twins right. You have 2 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. That is Spruce on the inside, but he throws it to Meyer on the left. Spin move, tries to get away, but he cannot. 2-minute warning. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. Can the LA Wildcats punch it in for 6? Last time they were this close to the end zone, they winded up going backwards and were able to get 3. So this will be an opportune time for them. Let's hope the offensive linemen do not have another holding call and push them back away and outside of the 10-yard line. Inside the 6, Josh Johnson is looking. He's got a man right over the middle. It's to Spruce, and he is in. Touchdown, Wildcats. They now have a 9-7 lead. Pending this extra point, they will take a 3-point lead and be 10-7, which is big right before the half, because Seattle gets this ball at halftime. So getting a score there was big. Now they got to play defense and not allow Silvers and Prohl and McAfee to pick up a score right before half. Good job by LA's offense. Let's see if they can get this extra point here. I mean, I've seen crazier things. It's raining, it's sloppy. Guys can fall on their butt, and it might be a 9-7 game just like that. There is the snap, good hold, kick is up, kick is good. 10-7 ball game in favor of LA. We have 1:53 to go in the second quarter. We are getting closer to halftime. This has been a good game. It's been a dogfight. Both of these defenses have come to ball. It is pouring rain out there. I believe it's because it's April. You know what they say. April showers bring May flowers. It has been a lot of rainy games in the past couple weeks. I think in the last 3 weeks, we've had about 4 or 5 rain games. DC had 2 games in the rain that they had to deal with. When they faced Houston, it was raining so bad, everybody was slipping and sliding all over that field. Parks brings it out to the 21-yard line. Silvers will have 1:48 to rally his troops to try and get at least 3. Hopefully they can put up 6 and take a 14-10 lead. If you are a Seattle fan, if you're an LA fan, you want this lead to hold, and you want your team to play 2 consecutive drives of good defense so you can get the ball back and try to put more points on the board in the third quarter. McAfee's been playing decent. You can see his stat line there. He is the single back in the backfield. 3 wide set for Seattle. Silvers takes a quick drop back, shimmies away from a defender, His man takes a one-handed grab. That's got to be Austin Prohl. I can't tell with this rain, but oh yeah, I can see the gloves from here. That was Austin Prohl. Acrobatic catch there. I mean, you saw that one-hand grab. Can I get a replay? Can I get a replay in the booth? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. These guys in the truck, I think they be hating on me. I'm not going to lie. When I want a replay, they don't give it to me. You know what? I keep saying it. I'm not going to say it anymore. You know what the deal is. We're going to see each other outside. I think I just said it there. Anyway, 2nd and 3 for the Seattle Dragons. There is a snap. Silvers drops back. He finds Prohl along the sideline. It is caught. He cannot turn it upfield. But the good news is he got the first down right in front of the LA head coach. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. So far, so good. But with only a minute and 8 to go, they've got to start attacking downfield.
You be ready out there. You hear me?
Offset I formation. Prohl is the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Look for him to get some more yards on this drive. There is another toss to Prohl. It is a out route, and we're going to call it an out route because he was out of bounds when he caught it. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for the Dragons. They've got to stop being conservative. They got to take a chance. I mean, the last time they did, granted, Dixon came up with the interception.
You ain't playing like yourself today. We need to pick it up. I need some help, man. I can't do it by myself.
Now, I find it funny that McAfee is calling out Prohl like Prohl is not absolutely balling for his team. I've seen this a lot. Maybe because they're 1-7. That is not the first time I've seen them spatting it out in the huddle. They've got to shape up here. They've got to hold it and hold it together. There is a toss to the tight end. Great defense there by the linebacker Briggs. He was covering the tight end. Jedazuma on that one. Incomplete pass. 3rd and 10 for Seattle at their own 32-yard line. There is a minute and 1 second to go. If LA can get a stop here, they've got 2 timeouts. They can make something happen, and they could probably pick up another score and make it a 13-7 or a 17-7 game. And then they'll have a 10-point lead going into half. But hey, let's see what happens here first. It is a handoff to McAfee. I don't know if you guys can hear my confusion. Maybe they're just trying to concede this half and say, you know what? Let's just run it and let this clock tick and not allow them to have a chance. You know what? I don't mind that strategy. I don't mind it. I mean, it's a very conservative way to look at it. Todd Boston will be the punter to punt it away to Dixon. But as a head coach, I've been a coach in youth football leagues. I'm not, with a minute to go, going to run the ball so the other team can't have a lot of time left. That means you don't have any faith in your offense to move the football, and you don't want to punt it away and give them more time than they actually need. I get it. I get it, but that's not the way I would coach. There's the punt. It is a sky-high punt. Ahmad Dixon's got a little space, tries to spin away, picks up a few. 1st and 10 at the LA 38. Now, look, I wouldn't do that simply because of this. You've got to understand LA's personnel. They've got 2 great receivers in Spruce and McBride who can score and allow Johnson to have LA score quickly. So, 11 seconds on the clock, and they've got 2 timeouts. That is enough for either 2 to 3 plays or 2 plays with the position they're in and kick up a field goal. But it seems like LA is in the formation that they're going to run, but Spruce is the top man in this formation. Can Spruce wind up going deep? It's a handoff to Meyer. Meyer gets smacked back, but now they're in a hurry up. I don't know what's going on right now. And then they call timeout with 3 seconds to go. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm scratching my head over here. What are these coaches doing? Do you want to end the half? Do you want to play conservative? Do you want to take a shot? Maybe they're going to do a Hail Mary here. Why are you... It looks like he's consoling him. I don't know. Maybe Johnson went to the sideline like, what are we doing, coach? Are we going to run it? Why are you calling timeout? Maybe he had a change of heart like mid-drive or mid-4 seconds left. I don't know. But it's an I-form set. My guess is they're going to run it again to just run this clock out and go into halftime with a 3-point lead. And that's exactly what they do. They try to bounce it to the outside. They are allowed to go nowhere. It is another loss on the down. 3rd and 16, but that is halftime. That was a weird end to the half. It's been a good game besides that. LA has a 10-7 lead over the Seattle Dragons. LA needs to win this game, and they are in the playoffs. This has been a fantastic half. Please enjoy the halftime show brought to you by Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast.
Over beats, baby.
What a half it has been. LA leads 10-7. If you saw on the stat lines there, LA had 13 minutes in time of possession. That is big. That is the reason why they have the lead, as well as that turnover that gave them good field position. But the big number was the fact that they have -10 rushing yards. That means Seattle has been playing good enough to stop them through the ground, but have not been able to handle it through the air. Johnson has 126 passing yards. Seattle has had a more balanced attack, but they've been playing too conservative. Silvers only has 50 yards in one half of football passing the ball. That's not going to do it, and if he does not eclipse the 100-yard mark in this game, I won't be surprised. Parks brings it out to the 26-yard line. Silvers has a chance to make some plays here. The coaching staff has to have some confidence in him. Even though it's pouring out, they've got to have some confidence and believe that they're going to get some yards downfield. Pro is one of the top receivers in this league, and he's been running nothing but short routes. Shotgun set. There's a snap. It goes to McAfee to the outside. He's got some space. Out past the 30-yard line. He is down at the 43. Great run by McAfee. He just couldn't get away. If he was able to get away there, that would have been for 6. Because there was only one last line of defense, and he was the only man to touch him. Good run there. Pulling guard. Good block by the wide receiver. Pro put a man right in the dirt. Blackwell was the only guy that was going to be able to catch him, and he did. So good defense. Not good defense by LA. Good stop by Blackwell to put on some individual effort there. 1st and 10 at the Seattle 43. It is another shotgun set. Maybe they're going back to McAfee on the same play. Let's see what happens. Penalty on the play. It is caught by Holloway. He is all the way down to the 5. Touchdown, Seattle, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what it is.
Clipping, number 50.
Oh, man. Wow. Clipping. A clipping call on this. I believe that's the center. He snaps the ball. Where did they call clipping? Oh, that's a tough call. That is, Mr. Official. Mr. Official, you might have just dictated. He dictated the game there. He barely tapped him in the back. That is something that most officials would not call. That has to be a strict official on that one. Technically, it's a clip because he put his hands on his back. What do you guys think in the chat? Let me know. That is a tough break for Seattle. That makes it 2nd and 29. Oh, my God. Wow, incomplete pass. That's tough because Seattle scores on that play. And it's not because of that call. The defensive lineman winded up hitting Silvers anyway.
Doubles 50Z, tight end cross. Got it? Good.
So the quote-unquote clip was not the reason why they sprung loose for the score. It was a good throw under duress, and they made a great catch by Holloway, but it was all for naught as they have now at 2nd and 29. I feel for Seattle on that one. There's a snap. Silvers is looking. He finds Prohl on the out route, caught for a gain of 10. 3rd and 19. That is Prohl's 5th catch for 26 yards. He has not been a deep threat like he normally is in these games. I mean, I got to go back to that play. I can't believe that the referee decided to call the clipping call on that. It had to be the umpire that saw that. I don't believe the back judge, not the back judge, the head referee called that from his spot behind the quarterback. It's just, that's a tough call, man. And it takes away Seattle's touchdown, and now they are at the 34-yard line. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm kind of pissed. I'm kind of pissed that Seattle had that tough of a break. I shouldn't. I'm a journalist. I'm an analyst. I'm a commentator. I should have an unbiased opinion. But when you see some injustice like that, you've got to speak your mind. Good defense there.
Come on, D.
Oh, that's tough.
Baby.
By Ryan Pagel, the backup free safety. That is tough. I'm sorry. That is just tough because.
How about blocking this thing? Come on, let's swarm this guy.
That was a touchdown. It would be a 14-10 game. LA would have to respond, but instead it stays 10-7, and Seattle is punting this ball away. Now, if LA scores on this drive, that'll make it a 17-7 game, and that could just take the wind right out of the sails of Seattle. They're already on the road. It's a hostile environment. They're playing in the rain. They haven't had a big game like that all game. The first time they attacked really downfield, it was successful for a touchdown, but to have it called back for a bogus, I'm calling it bogus. That was a bogus clipping call, man. He barely touched them, and the lineman still hit Silvers despite having a man in front of him. So don't give me that. That's just tough. I'm sorry. Let's move on. That's in the past. They've moved on. It's a 10-7 game. LA has the ball. They're in an offset I close formation again. It is a toss play to Meyer, who goes nowhere. You've got to believe Seattle's playing pissed off. This defense is kind of ticked off. Sean Goss is making the stop there. The one of the top corners for this team. I'm sorry, that was a free safety that was up. That was Willie Bacon. Willie Bacon was up. Nobody touched him, and he just said, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to make a play on my own. Good defensive stop by Bacon. 2nd and 13 at the LA 32 with 8 minutes to go in this quarter. If LA scores here, that is going to absolutely take the wind out of the sails of Seattle, who was absolutely screwed on that last drive. Under 8 minutes to go. There is the snap. Josh Johnson is looking. He's got some time. He looks like Williams in the middle of the field. I'm telling you, he's targeted Williams more, and I know Johnson is being smart. He's saying, I'm not going to take many chances downfield. I'm going to check down. I'm going to take what the defense gives me. And that's exactly what he's been doing all game today.
3rd and 7.
And you got to believe it's been working. It's a tight game. It's still anybody's game here. LA is up by 3. Seattle's got to continue to play the good defense they've been playing. Trip formation, bottom of your screen. Josh Johnson is looking plenty of time. Throws the ball deep. It is caught over the hands of the Seattle defender. That is a LA touchdown. Trey McBride, he's getting his boogie on. Touchdown LA, and I'm telling you, that's got to be the dagger. After what happened on that last drive on the I'm going to call it bogus, on the bogus clipping call, that ball goes right over the head of Bickerstaff. He mistimed that. He misjudged that altogether. Bickerstaff, the strong safety. The ball goes right over his head. McBride looks it right into his hands. Takes it for 6. Now, after this extra point, we will have a 17-7 game, and Seattle is going to have to respond now. They cannot wait. If they have a 3-and-out or punt the ball away, they might be done for this game. But there's plenty of time. There's a snap. Good hold. Kick is up. Kick is good. 17-7 game in favor of LA. If LA can hold on to this lead, they will be heading to the playoffs, taking on a team that they recently beat a couple of weeks ago. I'm sorry, they beat, I believe, last week. Yes, they beat last week, and in convincing fashion. If there's any team that Houston should be afraid of come playoff time, it's the LA Wildcats. They are the hottest team in the league. It was Houston until they lost. They had 7 wins in a row, but if LA wins here, this will be their 5th win in a row. It will be at 6-3, and they have been looking good this second half of the season. So, if Houston wants to make it to the championship, I saw a lot of people in the chat in the Saturday game They were saying it'll probably be Houston and DC.
Coach wants this one. Eye jokers, weak toss. Focus on this one. Break.
It'll be a Houston DC XFL championship. I didn't say a prediction. I think I said DC will make it, but I think it'll be DC and LA. You can't deny the fact that LA has been playing fantastic football. We'll talk about it more week 10. This is only week 9. We've got one more week of football to go. I'm just excited for the playoffs, as I can assume you guys are. McAfee takes another toss to the left side. He picks up 8 yards. McAfee has been eating on that left side of the field. I mean, he took one for 21 yards on the right side. He hasn't really been running up the gut. It's been tosses and stretch plays out to the outside. They've been exploiting the defensive ends of the LA Wildcats. Maybe that is probably one of the only weaknesses of this LAD. Those linebackers usually have to come up and make a play. But today, McAfee has been playing well enough to get over 50 yards rushing. Silver's under center, sees something that he likes, decides to call an audible. There's the snap. It is a stretch handoff to McAfee to the left side, and he picks up enough for the first down. I think they're starting to figure it out. Seattle sees that they have a weakness on the left side. That is LA's right side of the defense if you're on their side of the ball. That is the top of your screen if you're watching this game. They see that there's some kind of exploit there, and now LA, if you see the counter, they've overloaded that side of the ball to kind of compensate for it. I formation, there is the snap. He is looking for his man. It is deflected away. Kroll could not catch the ball there. Great defense by the Wildcats. I think that was Owen Grant on the deflection there. Good defensive stop by LA. 2nd and 10 for Seattle. Like I said, Seattle has to score on this drive, whether it's 3, whether it's 6. They have to show that fluke of a drive where they got stopped. I'm sorry, I keep going back to it. For a clipping call that was not clipping to me, was just an unfortunate turn of events, and they can bounce back and show some resiliency. Offset eye, it goes back to McAfee. McAfee goes up the gut, picks up 3. Decent gain. We wish he could have more. I don't know what was happening towards the 30-yard line in the backfield there, but somebody hit the turf. 3rd and 7 with under 6 minutes to go in the third. Plenty of time for Seattle.
We're using gun. Quads left, 50 red foot. All out here.
I mean, Silver's 60 yards at this time in the game is not going to do it. Again, like I said, if he's got to get over the 100-yard mark, he would have been, but they took the play away. I'm telling you, I just kept going back to it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but that has just been a huge play for them. He throws it short, only gains a yard. That'll be 4th and 6. And I'm telling you, that has been the benchmark of this game. It's just they have not been able to do anything after that. We're getting to the 5-minute mark in the third. We're halfway through the third. And Boston's in to punt this ball away to LA. And if LA scores here, it is definitely over. I don't care if there's 10 minutes to go. There's the punt, almost blocked, almost running into the kicker there as well. Caught by Dixon. Dixon is met immediately. Good coverage by the Seattle Dragons. LA will start at their own 23.
Ball is spotted at the 23-yard line.
Johnson and the LA offense will have the ball at their own 23-yard line.
We're using gun. Split spread, weak draw. Stay sharp. Break.
They're going to be in the gun. They call it split spread, so he'll have 2 backs flanked to each side of him. It'll be a weak draw, so it'll be a delayed handoff to Ryan Meyer. He has not been able to get started. Seattle is looking like they're trying to stop the pass. Let's see if he can pick up some yards here. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. There's the snap. There's the delayed handoff to Meyer. Meyer shoots to the left. Still stopped behind the line of scrimmage. I believe Meyer has had more runs that have been stopped behind the line of scrimmage than he's had runs that have gone past a yard. I mean, that is why at halftime they had -10 rushing yards.
2nd and 10.
It's an awkward thing to see a team not have positive rushing yards and be in the lead. That's how potent the pass game of LA is. Potent pass game. It's like another tongue twister. Another handoff to Meyer. Meyer makes the wrong decision. Runs into his lineman. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. I believe they gave him a yard there, so we'll give him a yard on that carry. 3rd and 10, but that just negates each other, so it's like 0 yards and 2 carries. Under 4 minutes to go in the third. Maybe LA is just saying, hey, we're gonna let this clock tick away. We're gonna take our time and see what happens here. I believe that is a trips formation at the top of your screen. I cannot see one of the receivers. LA is in all black. It's tough to see. There is the snap. There's the pass. Almost picked off. Johnson almost got his second pick of the day. Great coverage by the Seattle defense. So we are at 4th and 10. LA is at their own 23-yard line. They're going to punt this ball away.
Your Cougars are back to punt. Gus is deep to receive.
So Seattle has a chance to try and cut this lead to 3 with plenty of time left in this game. I'm telling you, but the wind has to be taken out of their sails. On the road, they've got to feel that they're not only playing against the Wildcats, but they're also playing against the officials. I mean, it was one bad call. Let me not make it that dramatic. Let's be honest. It was a bad call. Goss on the return only goes about a yard. So they're at their own 44-yard line. Silvers is coming on out, trying to make something happen. I think you go back to McAfee. McAfee has been playing pretty decent. This offensive line has been getting a push towards the left side of the ball. I mean, you can see it. They're adjusting that way. LA has moved up a little, and they said, you know what, we got to move there. And McAfee gets the ball up the gut. McAfee picks up 7. I'm telling you, McAfee has been playing well. McAfee has done enough run support for Seattle. Seattle's got to attack downfield. Seattle has to say, you know what, that play worked, even though it was taken away, and we need to make something happen. We've got to score here. They're inside of LA's territory now, so they've got short field position. Just over 3 minutes to go. Silvers is under center. McAfee is the deep man. Silvers has a quick drop back. He swings it out to McAfee. McAfee crashes it and falls forward. They do not mark him at the first down. They call it 3rd and inches. Now I'm starting to believe maybe I was right about saying they're playing the officials as well. I can't do that. I can't do that. 3rd and inches. Good call by the officials. Let me not drag them through the mud. They don't need it. They don't need any more flack than they already get. McAfee to the toss on the left side. This time LA is ready for it. Loss of 4. 3 and out for Seattle. Now Seattle is going to have to play smart on the special teams opportunity. It is 4th and 4. Boston has to have enough leg to pin them deep. If the Gunners can get downfield and catch the ball or down it inside the 5, that'll be huge. There's the snap. Punt is up. It is a high one. It is going to go inside the 10. There's their chance. Big hop. Good roll. Down at the LA 6. Todd Boston, great job. He's coming off the field pretty happy. He did his job. His Gunners did his job. Good job by the Seattle special teams. Seattle pinned LA deep in their Week 6 matchup and picked up a safety that wound up being one of their only 2 scores of the day. Can they make something like that happen here? Meyer has been going backwards all game. All it will take is a couple of those, and then you'll see it could be a safety. So 1st and 10 at the LA 6. It is a handoff to Meyer. Meyer picks up one of his biggest gains of the day. It has to be because I said something about it. I kind of jinxed Seattle. He picks up at least, I believe, 13 or 14 yards on that run. It was almost stopped in the backfield, but the lineman made a good enough stop. He picks up buku yards. I believe that was 13 yards on that one. Yes, 13 yards on that carry. So now they are a ways away from their own end zone. Now they've got some room to work. 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Spruce is the only receiver in at this point. He is the top man at the top of your screen, just off the line of scrimmage. There is a snap. He is looking. Johnson swings it to the left. Meyer has to step in to catch it. And he gets met as soon as he caught the ball. Good defensive stop by Jacob Rivera. And, I mean, look at that passing comparison. It hasn't been the greatest day for Johnson.
Let's go, boys. I want to see some blocking out of you.
But he's almost got 200 yards passing, while Silvers has not even sniffed the 100-yard line. What a catch. Wow. Nelson Spruce. The Spruce is loose. Nelson Spruce has been putting on a show today. Johnson had the time. Look at this throw. Beautiful toss. Wasn't a perfect spiral, but still, it got to where it needed to go. And it only touched Spruce's hands as he was hit, as he immediately caught it by Bacon. Good snag by LA. Good catch by the Spruce. Can the Spruce get even more loose and pick up a score? He has not seen end zone today. Has not seen pay dirt. Might not get a chance to this late in the game, but hey, they've got a 17-7 lead, and that's all that really matters. There is the snap. He is dropping back. Johnson swings it out to his tight end, it looks like. Tries to juke away. Nope, that was to the fullback. I'm sorry. Demond St. Pierre tries to juke. I mean, Demond's a big guy. Wait, I'm sorry. That is not Demond St. Pierre. That is the fullback for the Seattle Dragons. I have the wrong depth chart up. Joe Darsh. Joe Darsh, the fullback. He's still a big guy. Tries to juke away from a defender. Only picks up a yard. That will end the third quarter. LA now has a 17-7 lead over Seattle. Tough third quarter for Seattle. Had some unfortunate plays happen, but they are still, you can say they're still in this game. After what I saw Thursday night, Dallas was down 12. Yeah, they were down, I believe, 12 points, and they picked up that many points in less than 5 minutes to win the game. That is another swing pass out to Meyer. That is a gain of about 7. 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats with less than 10 minutes to go in this game. This quarter just started. Again, if you are just watching this, welcome to the stream. You're probably being joined by guys like B and C Tournaments and Attila Y2K and Ed Palmer and plenty of loyal faithfuls that have been watching since day one. Welcome to the stream. This is the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. This has been an absolute fun time we've had watching these games. LA can win this one and clinch a playoff spot. If LA wins this game, we have the two teams in the West set, and we'll only have one spot that needs to be determined next week in the East. DC has clinched. Houston is clinched. LA clinches a playoff spot with this victory here. Right now, they are in the right side of the. They're in good position to win. That's what I want to say there. They're up 10. Seattle had the wind taken out of their sails. If you didn't see it, a clipping call brought back a touchdown that would have gave them a 14-10 lead. They are now finding themselves down 17-7. But Seattle has a chance still. Plenty of time left on the clock. I mean, like I said, if you watched that Thursday night game, if you didn't, please go back and watch it in the archives. It has been a crazy week of XFL football. There's the snap. Silvers is looking, goes over the middle, looks like to Jedazuma. The referee almost gets caught up in that. He's got to get out of there. He's got to get out of there before he becomes a victim. 9-yard reception by Azuma. 2nd and 1 for Seattle. That is a good way to start this drive. The linebacker was there. He should have made a play. All the linebackers were in that area, but Ahmad Dixon's the man who helps stop them before getting the first down.
2nd and inches from the Dragons.
Single back set, 2 wide to the top of your screen. They've got double tight going the other way. LA's looking like they're ready to stop this. You've got to believe if it's a run, they're going to go to the left side. It is not. There is a step up. He throws it. He's hit as he's thrown. Ball goes wayward. 3rd and 1. I think he completes that pass if he's not hit, but he's hit on the run. And unfortunately, they are looking at a 3rd and short. I'm giving the ball to McAfee. McAfee has done a great job running this football, especially to the left side of the LA defense. Right side if you're on their side of the ball. Bottom of your screen if you're watching. If LA wants to get a stop here, they need to do it right here so they can get this ball back and put more points on the board. There is a snap. Oh, he slips as he tries to throw. Oh, man. Silvers. Hey, man, it's the rain. It's the rain. Okay, so I said they're playing 2 opponents. Seattle is playing 3 opponents here after that one. Seattle is playing the LA Wildcats, who've been doing well so far. They have a 10-point lead. They're playing the officials, who kind of screwed them on that bad clipping call in the 3rd quarter that I keep bringing up because I can't get over the fact that they actually called that. And they're also playing the weather, which has just cost them this drive altogether. He was not able to get his footing, and he had to get rid of it quick, and it winded up going incomplete, and now they are punting the ball away. I mean, that has – I said it, I think, another game before for Seattle. That has been the story of their season. They've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity,
Everybody ready? It's gonna be H50 tight end, Y out. Look alive!
And it always seems that the ball just does not bounce their way. It's tough. You want to root for Seattle, but they just seem to be like the Al Bundy of the XFL. Nothing seems to go their way. It's just tough. There's the snap. Johnson's looking. He finds a tight end on the out route. Complete. That is to the backup, Brian Johnson. That's, I think, his second or his third catch of the day. So, usually, in normal weather, LA is not spreading the ball out. Usually, Spruce and McBride are the guys that provide most of the offensive firepower for Josh Johnson. But today, he has hit Williams, he has hit Johnston, he's hit McBride, he's hit Spruce, he's hit Parks. He's hit a lot of targets today. There's a snap. It is a handoff to Meyer, and Meyer gets skinny, but only gets right back to the line of scrimmage. None of that is happening here. Good stop by the inside linebacker, Johnson. 3rd and 8 for LA. So, if anything, this is a
big one, boys. We need to stop.
Hype it up! Hype it up!
This is a good, I won't call it practice, but this is a good rep opportunity for LA because Johnson is finding his stride and he's hitting his other targets besides his main 2 targets of McBride and Spruce. There's a snap in the trips formation, play action pass, finds a man on the out route, he cuts it upfield for a first down. Josh Johnson has been playing absolutely fantastic. Look at his QBR, 110.3. Brian Taylor, the 4th wide receiver. I think he's the next guy. I think that is the 6th or 7th man that LA has found through the air today. Let's see. He's hit Meyer. He's hit Darsh. He's hit Spruce and McBride and Parks and Taylor and Jonathan Williams and Brian Johnston. So that's 8 targets today that Johnson has hit. So 8 targets for number 8. They're in an I formation. Spruce is the bottom man. Probably a handoff to Meyer. Meyer has just been making the wrong decisions today. I can see it from up here. Oh, there's a little chippiness going on down there. I can see some of these holes from here. And for some reason, Meyer has not been finding them. I don't know if he's got bad field vision. Maybe something's in his eye. Maybe they need to get him a visor. This rain has been affecting him. But he's just been making the bad reads and been going nowhere. 2nd and 10, right at the 50-yard line for LA. There is the snap to Johnson. He has time. He's looking. He looks like his man slipped there, but he had enough wherewithal to catch the ball. I think that's Brian Taylor on the reception again. I hope I get a replay. Can I get a replay, truck? Come on, truck.
Oh, skill, baby. Nothing but skill. Oh!
Of course. Of course they give me no replay, guys.
How's that poison taste, huh? How's it
Truck
taste?
hates me. Now, I don't know what he's talking about, how that poison tastes. How's that first down taste, if it's more like it? A handoff to Meyer. Meyer gets stopped again. I feel like every time Meyer gets the handoff, I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to be like, there's a handoff to Meyer. Stop on the play. Handoff, and he's back for the backfield. Stop. Good defense by Seattle. That's what I've been saying pretty much the entire time, every time Myers had the ball. I think he's had one big gain for 13 yards. That was when they were pushed back to the back of their end zone after a good punt by Seattle. Again, another opportunity where the ball didn't bounce their way. Trips formation for LA. Another handoff to Meyer. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. Stop down. Good defense, Seattle. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what's going on. LA has not been able to run the ball all day today. I don't have their numbers right in front of me, but I'm positive that they're going to. They're still having a negative yardage on the runs. I've seen more stops at the line of scrimmage and behind the line than I've seen positive yards. There's no way they have positive yards, even if it's a yard rushing. Johnson finds a man deep downfield. It is caught. McBride has been shredding that side of the secondary. It has been the McBride show today. Spruce has been the supporting actor. It is Trey Day. Trey McBride on the Poco route splits the corner and the safety. Goss and Bickerstaff were just left looking silly in that zone. Under 5 minutes to go, and it looks like LA is going to punch it in to take a 17-point lead. They're at the Seattle 11, offset I formation, no wide receivers on this set. The wide receivers are taking a break on this one. Probably another handoff to Meyer, so you'll know what I'm going to call in about a few seconds here. Oh, they're milking the clock, which is smart. Take your time, no need to rush. There's a snap, handoff. Oh, toss to Meyer, stop behind the line, scrimmage. Great defense, Seattle. I'm not going to waste my time and calling the play when I know it's going to happen every time Meyer touches the ball. Good defense by Seattle. It's just looking like they're running out of time here. LA is in complete control. We've seen crazier things happen this week. We saw Dallas defeat Houston late with a 99-yard drive. We saw Tampa Bay almost give up a lead to St. Louis earlier today. And now, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. The wind we're taking out of the sails of St. Louis, in Seattle in the third quarter, and they have not recovered from that. Toss to McAfee, stop. Oh, wait a minute. All right. Toss to McAfee to the right side. He gains a yard, tackled by Kidd at the 10-yard line, 3rd and 9 for LA. He gained a yard. I got to give him his kudos there. All right, so as you know, this has been a primetime matchup of the day. This is our last game of the week. We have our last 4 games of the regular season before we go in the playoffs. Thursday.
Pretty much the whole 10 yards in front of us here.
Piece of cake, man.
8 o'clock, April 9th on Thursday night. LA and Dallas will take each other on. That game has deemed to be meaningless at this point as LA has clinched the playoff spot with this win here today. Handoff to Meyer, stopped at the line of scrimmage. Great defense, Seattle. LA will boot this one up. The only game on Saturday, the Houston Roughnecks will take on the Seattle Dragons. And again, another meaningless game. So those are our 2 West Coast matchups. That'll be the early games of next week. Houston and LA will clinch. As you can see here, it seems like Seattle is not going to have enough to come back. They don't have enough time. The way they've been playing, they won't be able to attack downfield successfully against LA. So we're going to chalk this win up to LA. It'll be LA versus Houston. Now, what will matter is if LA can beat Dallas and Houston loses to Seattle, LA will have a chance in tiebreakers to host that game. So we cannot say exactly who will be hosting. We'll have more details on that, I'm sure, by the time Saturday's game is over against Houston and Seattle. In the West Coast and the East Coast games, though, we have a different story. Times have not been set, but we do know the Sunday games will determine who will be number 2, the 2 seed in the East. DC has locked up the number 1 seed. They will host the playoff game in the Eastern semifinals next in about 2 weeks. NY, the New York Guardians, will travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Vipers. Since Aaron Murray's been back, Tampa Bay has looked pretty solid. So do not discredit them. Those guys are looking to play spoiler once again. Tampa Bay has looked good. I mean, Devion Smith and Aaron Murray have played fantastic together on that offense, and those guys, Douglas Lloyd and company, have looked good. So if Tampa Bay wins, New York will be 5-5. If St. Louis can upset DC, DC will be 6-4. St. Louis will be 5-5. Then we'll head to tiebreakers. It goes, I believe, head-to-head, which they split. So then it goes to the amount of touchdowns scored and then touchdowns given up. The net touchdowns. If that is tied, then they will go to points against each other. And I think if it gets to that, St. Louis has the advantage because I believe St. Louis had more points scored in their initial games played, which was covered by the original XFL broadcast before we took over. I'm going to go check the schedule. It seems as if, yes, St. Louis defeated New York by a score of 29-9. Okay? So I believe St. Louis will get the nod in the tiebreakers no matter what. So St. Louis beating DC next week will be huge. And Tampa Bay upsetting New York will be huge. So Sunday's games are going to be huge for the East because it is a tight race for that number 2 seed to see who will go to DC to face the defenders in the semifinals for a chance to be in the XFL championship game. We have less than 2 minutes to go in this one, and Seattle will be punting this ball away again. Now, it's been a tough season for Seattle. The balls didn't bounce their way. That's just the best way I can call it. The ball didn't bounce their way in this season. They're going to drop to 1-8. They're going to have to play their hearts out no matter what next week. They're playing the Houston Roughnecks. Houston has had 2 losses in a row. Seattle will have film on how to beat Houston this time around. And they went for it on 4th and long. I don't even know why. Just punt this ball away. They take a sack, and now LA has the ball at the 23. That's just a bonehead play call. Concede defeat. You guys, I understand you're trying to get a win to try and play spoiler, but that hope is lost. Let's be honest. That hope is lost. 20-7 game in favor of LA, and now they have the ball at the 23-yard line. And it looks like they're just going to pass the ball some more. They might just hand this ball off to Meyer, but you know how this play call is going to go. There's the snap. There's a toss play to Meyer. Stop behind the line of scrimmage. Great defense, Seattle. That has been what I've been saying all day. Good stop by Seattle. Their defense has done a great job defensively. It's been a great job by the defense. They just have not been able to put up points. And that's been Seattle's problem all year. They just haven't been able to put up a lot of points this year. And here they are with only 7 points in this game. So the 2 times they played LA, they put up 12 points total. Hand off to Meyer. Stopped in the backfield. Good defense, Seattle.
Woo, baby! You can't stop me! You can't stop me!
3rd and 18 for LA. I don't believe LA even minds that they're going backwards. They're probably just going to kick this one up and take a 16-point lead. And then the game will finally be over. Shotgun set for LA. Johnson has 2 backs flanked to his each side. Twins wide receivers at the top of your screen. It's another handoff to Meyer. He gets some positive yardage. Meyer picks up 2 yards. We're going to clap it up for Meyer. Clap it up for the man. He picks up 2 yards, 4th and 16. It has been a tough game for Meyer. Why is the kicker coming out with his helmet off? I don't understand. Put your helmet on and go kick the football. What the hell is wrong with you? Oh man, it's been a good game. I enjoyed watching this game. I hope you guys did as well. Thank you guys for watching every single week. I've been having a blast calling these games. It has been hard work editing and calling these games and getting these games up in enough time at the same schedule that the XFL was going to have their games. Kick is up. Kick is good. LA has a 23-7 lead, and you know for a fact that this one is over. Tough break for Seattle. Great ball play by the LA Wildcats. They've played fantastic football. This will be their 5th win in a row. They're playing hot at the right time. If they pick up a win next week against Dallas on Thursday Night Football, they will be 6 straight wins and sitting at 7-3. And I'm telling you, Houston is not going to want to face them, especially when they are one of those 6 wins in a row. I have to believe the score was 34-24. Houston turned the ball over 4 times that time they played. If that were to happen, you've got to believe that LA is the favorites to go to the XFL championship. There's a shot of Silvers. Now it looks like they're trying to air the ball out now. I mean, where was this 15 minutes ago when you were down 14-7 or 17-7? Tossed right to the man's hands and he drops the ball. I want to root for Seattle because they're the underdogs. I want to see them succeed. But I mean, I only thing that I can say is they got boned on that bad clipping call. I mean, that happened about 10-15 minutes ago, and I'm still talking about it. That, I believe, was the play that decided the fate of this game. If you don't think that's the case, and you just think that's just Seattle being Seattle, then let me know in the comments. And while you're here, please like and subscribe to the XFL on the Last Life Gaming Network. Turn on your notifications so you can get everything XFL. And I mean, look at that stat line. Austin Kroll only has 32 yards receiving today. The first time these two met, he had 157 yards receiving. Today, he only has that many yards, and it's mind-boggling. He has 6 catches, but only 32 yards. That definitely, and what I say, if Seattle doesn't have over 100 yards passing, if Silvers doesn't go over that mark, then there's got to be an issue there. Maybe next week we'll see B.J. Daniels. I mean, Seattle has nothing to lose, so why not play some of your backups? We'll see. I'll sit down. I'll talk to the head coach, the coaching staff of Seattle. Maybe they might make that decision. I mean, Silvers has played well, but at this point, you might as well see what your other guys can do.
First and 10.
23-7 game. Minute 16 to go. We're just going through the motions here, guys. I've already covered what we're going to do next week. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that LA is going to win and Houston will take their third loss in a row? And there's a pick. Is he going to take it to the house? Don't do it. Don't do it to him. There's a penalty. Probably a clip all the way down to the 18-yard line. But there is a penalty on the play. Let's see what the call is.
Clipping, number 71, defense.
So there is a clipping call. That one was on Greg Cragen. He does not get a lot of playing time. He is the third string defensive tackles. He's the backup to the two defensive tackles. Let's see this clipping call. Who's he even block? Oh, come on. See, now that was a clip. That right there was a clip. He lowered his shoulder right in the back of the center. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Oh, and then Silvers puts him on his cheeks. All right, I love that. He touched him in his back. That is definitely a clipping call, especially because he could have affected a pick six. That was a clipping call. If you call the other one, you call this one, okay. But the fact that Silvers retaliated and lowered the boom, that is XFL football on the Last Life Gaming Network. Great job. There is the first down on this drive. There is no need for LA to do anything else as the clock will tick away. They even have their backup in. That is Mark Blake, number 4 of the LA Wildcats. This game is a wrap. I mean, congratulations to LA. They've clinched a playoff spot. They will face Houston in the first round. I keep calling it first round. In the semifinals of the XFL playoffs, only 4 teams make it out of the 8. And this one's a wrap. Congratulations to them. They are in the playoffs with their 5th win in a row. You've got to believe. I mean, I'm going to say it, man. LA is my favorites to get to the championship game. Houston's got to prove me wrong. They've dropped 2. They've got to bounce back this week against the Seattle team who has just been unlucky all season. And that'll do it. They call the game early. LA wins it 23-7. Congratulations to the Wildcats. What a game that was for them. Please enjoy this post-game show brought to you by Onslaught Multimedia, the creators of the Blast podcast. Onslaught Multimedia player of the game is Johns Johnson. Great efficiency, 25 for 30, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns, a 112.8 QBR. The man balled out, 5 incompletions. That is fantastic. He had to shoulder the load as they had -10 rushing yards. I had a feeling they didn't have positive yards rushing. And compare that to Silvers' 88 yards passing. That is why they have clinched the playoff spot with their 5th win in a row. Please be sure to catch us for another Thursday night game in primetime as those LA Wildcats look to put their streak on the line against the Dallas Renegades at 8 p.m. on Thursday night. Will they be able to upset another favorite? We'll see on Thursday. Thank you for watching.